What's up, YouTube? It's your main man, AB the Hero, back again with another live stream. We're live, we're live, we're live. Appreciate everybody who has already got active on the like button. We got some stuff to talk about tonight. Obviously, what y'all want to talk about in the chat, we're gonna get to. And we're gonna vibe out for a little bit. I think we got a smooth hour or so of a live stream tonight. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let some folks get in here and get active on the channel. If y'all can go ahead and start, let me know where you tapped in from. Let me know where you tapped in from, and then we'll get the shout outs going, and we're gonna start the conversation. I got a few videos that I want to watch on here and kind of react to. If y'all have some topics, let me know, questions, all of that jazz, and we'll talk about that as well. Trying to, I told y'all this before as well, that one of the things that I wanted to do was like we kept having these issues with the stream kept jacking up, stuttering, and all of this jazz. So you know what I'm saying, I had to go get a new computer. So I'm trying to set up and make sure everything is smooth and rolling the way that it's supposed to roll. So we should not have any no issues tonight with the stream. Here go the boy.
The hero, back at it, baby.
All right, so let me, man. The one thing that's missing from here right now that I wish it was had already, that didn't carry over, is here it is. Bam, yes. Get the overlay. Like now I can't. It's not letting me do the thing. I did this before where I could populate the text, the comments on the screen, and so right now those ain't. It's not. It's not doing its thing like it should. So I need to. I'm trying to set that up real quick. Then we'll get into the vibrations. Good vibrations. All right, we need two things. Jackson, Mississippi in the building. All right, all right, all right. Tell my boy Dion I said what it do. I think that's something that's on my bucket list. Peace, brother from Florida. Something that's on my bucket list for this like upcoming sometime soon is to go down to Jackson State, catch a game, and support what my dog Dion got going. I think if I can pop this here, should populate across. Good vibrations. Did that pop in there? 1109. Yep, that's it. Let me see. Nope, it ain't working. Alright, fuck it. It ain't work. I probably don't have that on this computer is what the issue is. But it don't even matter. It should still work. Dion. Alright. Nah, Deion Sanders. Not Dion from the JBA. Alright, let's get into it. I was trying to get this thing back on here working, but it ain't doing what it's supposed to do. It should like pop up and then let you clear this and and just show up into the chat, but it ain't working. All right, let's see. So, in today's video, let's talk about some things, man. Let me get some shout outs right away. Flight Sports TV, first person in the building, man. Shout out to Flight. Definitely a real one. All right, we got the Pope B Frankie here. Say send me the link, man. If I send the link out tonight, definitely I'm gonna throw that in there. Right now, I'm just probably gonna vibe. Brenda Lockhart, here we go. Jello should play versus the Lakers Summer League team since he tested negative. You know what? A while back, I did a video about the health and safety protocols that the NBA has. And obviously, I'm assuming that they're the same. They did change them. I believe at one point it was like 10 days. Then it went down to 5. And I think the issue potentially with Jello is it's simply that, you know, he missed the first 4 or 5 games, or 3 or 4 days of practice, a week worth of practice. So he probably is ready to play, tested negative, whatever. But even when you remember when Melo went out, the big thing that happened is he had to wait a game. He spent the day or 2 days in the G League, kind of getting back to paces, getting back with the team and all of that stuff before they sent him and let him play another game. So I imagine that that's a similar situation that's happening with Jello right now. As y'all come in, though, definitely get active on the like button for the boy. It's always appreciated. It ain't work. Clear it. Get active on the like button, man. I appreciate that. I'm gonna get this to work, bro. I know I can. Chat, live chat. Oh, I put in the wrong one. Damn it. Here we go. I put it on the wrong one. Nope, that's not it either. No, that is the... Alright, I said I wasn't gonna mess with it, so I ain't gonna mess with it. Alright, so here we go. Let me get back to these shout outs and we'll get into today's stream. Alright, so we got Brenda Lockhart in here. We got Zach Mack, the Loke. Man, let me switch this as well, man. This ain't even... Make another change real quick, man. I got this new computer, and so with that I try to make some changes, but it ain't jumping the way that I want. All right, there we go. That's better. Good vibrations. Now I can look at this screen here without having to... All right, so let's do it. All right, my man the Pope say hit the like, bro. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Definitely excellent content creator on here. Consistent. Got a unique opinion, you know what I'm saying? So if you're into that stuff, man, definitely go check his stuff out. Coach Darby, what's up with Jello? Jackson, Mississippi. Super Team VIP, always in the building. Appreciate it as well. Let me know if you come down to Vegas. I definitely thought about coming to Vegas, but the way my schedule just got tossed around, I ain't even gonna be able to make it. Definitely hit the like button. We got 58 people in here. Cobby Talk Show, Dion from the JBA. Dion Lyles, if that's who you're talking about, the man still hooping, still out here in these streets getting it done. All the way from Guyana, South America, checking in. Tell us, will Jello play? That's what I was saying. So let me get back to that. Then we'll talk because there's a few things that I really want to get in, because I think that this Jello into the summer league conversation has created a new wave of what I would call Jello hate, right? This ideal of like, oh, even so what? The summer league ain't good enough. Oh shoot, the G League ain't good enough. So I want to get into that. And I think addressing that will be probably the majority of today's live stream. We'll also talk about some other like young bucks who coming up. Watched a few summer league games, some things that I thought was interesting there. But we really want to get into that. But before that, what I want to talk about is probably the most important thing with the Jello situation right now is he even eligible to play, right? We got the news a while back. Let me go over here. Put it on one. Oh, Lord. That's that bad boy. Let me switch it up again. God. Good vibrations. I do. We got information a while back from Jello about well he was going to play in the summer league. And then so we got that info, and which was cool. Everybody was hype about it. But the way that then shifted was right after we got the info of like, oh yeah, he in here, but he not gonna play. And so that simply matters mostly because go to let me see. That ain't what I want. I want this one over here to be on the capture. All right, here we go. Now we bite. All right. That's a little behind the scenes, bro. This working these little software sometimes, man, get a little tricky, man. Trying to make sure everything do what it do and work the way it's supposed to work. So, but it's simple to do once you do it a couple different times. So we got this information here. We can look over. I remember this is one of the best sources, I believe, to get G League information, right? And the interesting thing about this account here is this G League TV account was not necessarily affiliated right away with the G League, but then this guy was going so hard and has such great information that the G League was like, yo, bro, why don't you come over here and run our official account? So he got to do that. So shout out to G League TV, right? So this information broke of Jello re-signing with the Hornets to play in the summer league, and most of us got hyped. We got ecstatic. We're ready to see it. Everybody's cheering. Then the news broke that he was not with the team, health and safety protocols, all of that stuff. We watched some of the footage in practices, and everybody was like, yo, wait a minute, man. This ain't right. We thought we was going to get some more Jello. We didn't get the Jello that we wanted. So move a bit forward. At this point, to me, I believe he should probably be out of health and safety protocols, because the way that the protocols were working before is it was probably about, I think it went down to 6 days. You had to be in within 6 days, and then there was maybe 2 additional days and where they let you get your bearings, right? We also know with this Hornets team, they heavy on you gotta earn your minutes. So I could see a situation in which him not have practiced all week it would limit his playing time initially. So they say, yo, you know what? You're not gonna play in this first game. We're gonna pull you off, because we know if you suit up, if you in the building on a Friday night and we don't play you, the shit is going to hit the fan. People not going to try to hear. People are not going to hear, hello, LiAnGelo Ball is on the bench and we didn't play him tonight, and all of that. So we're going to take all the guesswork out. You're not playing, all right? So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him play until Sunday night at the earliest, all right? So I want to get that out there. I think it's a health and safety protocol issue. If we go here, let me look this up. NBA. Just call LeVar. You got the plug. I could text LeVar about it. You know what I'm saying? For sure. But You know what's so funny, man, is oftentimes I do just send him a message like, "Yo, what's up," and he'll give me a little blurb about what he think about something or whatnot, and and so I could just come on and be like, "I just talked to LeVar and he said this," but I really don't like to do that because I feel like before I even knew LeVar or had that connection, I made a lot of presumptions, speculation, talked about a ton of things on this channel, and oftentimes was spot on at times, right? And to me, that's greater feeling being able to do some deductive reasoning and be right than to just text and then say, "Hey man, what's up with the what's the scoop?" Obviously, sometimes I do like to get it and it just has a confirmation, but sometimes, man, I like to just skip all that. All right, let's see. So here's what I was saying. We'll look through this here. NBA players who test positive for COVID-19 now have a quicker path to return to play. Um, See, yeah, down to 6 days was customarily 10 days. If you asymptomatic, all of that stuff. So this just means that he'll probably be back on the court sooner than later. All right, there are just things that they have to do. Now, here's what I want to talk about because I think that this is the real conversation that I want to get into and address with you all, right? Is this ideal that like his chances are running out and oh my god, the window is closing and like he should have played this and oh it was UCLA and this. I think that for what I would consider to be like the casual fan, um what I would consider to be like, and I can't even, you know what, and that's even the wrong term, right? Because I think that sometimes people say the casual fan, but it's not really I think the average NBA fan doesn't understand the trajectory of 60% of NBA players and how hard you have to work to get in there, right? Think about it's 400, whatever, 2,440 guys in the league, another 100, 200 guys in the G League. And like, it is a very arduous process to make it to any step. I know guys who can hoop. My dog Curtis Hollis has been literally hooping all over the world, giving people buckets. We watched the G League. You watch the Drew League every year, and there's guys in there who give buckets. What's the dude, the MVP? They say it every time. Drew League MVP Frank Nitti gives buckets. Not in the NBA, not in the G League, none of that stuff, right? But if you say, yo, can Frank Nitti hoop? Most people would say, yes, Frank Nitti is a hooper. All right. That's how I know him. There's so many cats out here right now who have gotten some notoriety for being a hooper without like and who don't play in the NBA, right? And I say that to say that's how talented folks are. That's how talented folks are. That's how talented people play basketball, where you can gather a fan base from being a talented basketball player by most standards, but you haven't even cracked the NBA, right? You think of the Hezzy guys. I think of the Tristan Jazzes. I played Tristan Jazz one-on-one before, and I'm telling you, he's a hooper. I played him one-on-one before, and he was giving me buckets. I'm like, yo, he's smaller dude. He quick, finishing around the rim. I was like, damn, dude can hoop. I tried to get him in the JBA, but I think he was going, and this is even crazier. He was like at a D3 college at the time or something like that. Let me see this real quick. Stuff like this is where nobody knows what's going on. You can get it to the people officially because Ball Facts say he might miss the whole show. I think that, but here's what I'll say. The interesting part about that is most of the information that you end up getting direct from the source, like the reason why the source hasn't put it out is because they don't want nobody to know. So it makes it awkward if I say, "Hey man, what's going on?" And then so like last year, you think about where how people knew that Jello was playing in the G League is because his granddad did a video and released it, and everybody was upset. Devontae Graham had an Instagram post on there in which he released it, and everybody was upset, right? So it's like by the time information is actually broken to people, it's because everybody gave the green light to go ahead and break the information. You know what I mean? So yeah, I could be like, yo, is he gonna play? But sometimes the information is we don't know yet, right? So sometimes the information is there's an opportunity for him to return, but he might not be able to return because X, Y, Z circumstance, right? Which is typically is what I'm telling you right now anyway. So that's what that is. Let me see. So back to what I was saying though. I think what I find to I think what I'm seeing now is there's this conversation when folks talk about LiAnGelo Ball, and I will admit to you, and I've said this plenty of times, is that there has been hurdle after hurdle after hurdle after hurdle to for him to get to the NBA. But somehow he keeps chugging along, chugging along, chugging along, chugging along, chugging along. And at every moment, every decision that he has made has been criticized with a microscope. Okay. Oh, you shouldn't have did this. Your dad shouldn't have did this. You played here. You shouldn't have played here. But when I tell you, if you really look at the journey for a lot of NBA players, right, it's damn near similar. Or not even that it's similar, is that most people can't do what Jello Ball has done as far as getting himself onto a summer league team, onto the Hornets team. And I think that people who have this idea, but oh yeah, you somehow got the workout. You got to work out. You made the summer league team, you made the G League team, but you don't have a skill set or the opportunity to develop into a rotational NBA player, to me is wild and crazy. And we'll get into this, and I'll show you why. Let me answer some of these questions here. Come on, y'all. The Hornets are doing Jello dirty. Now, it would be interesting if there was some like conspiracy plot or my dog really didn't test for COVID or whatever, and they just health and safety protocoled him for some reason. I don't know why you would do that. That would be interesting, and that would be dirty. I'm sure Frank Nitti got his chance. I'm sure Frank Nitti probably got his chance. Especially if you think he played in the Big Three, probably had enough time to play in front of scouts, but for some reason or another, they didn't give him the call up, right? And so to me, and this is the point I also want to drive home, it speaks to the ability of a LiAnGelo Ball to be able to get certain opportunities and then cash in on them. So when we get a situation like this where there's a health and safety protocol issue not allowing him to play in the summer league, and then folks take that as, uh-oh, is it? He done. If he don't play in the summer league, it's over. I don't think that that's the case. Even if he didn't show up one time in the summer league, I don't think that there's no opportunity for him to ever play in the G League or continue to grow as a basketball player. And so growth as a basketball player is something that I feel like we really have to understand. This is part of tonight's conversation, right? So let me see this. Either he makes it with the Hornets or he doesn't make the NBA. There's no other report stating another NBA organization is interested. But this is my point to you. When it comes to reports, you only get the report when somebody says, okay, go ahead and report it, right? Reports told us last week that Kevin Durant was going to the Toronto Raptors. Reports told us last week that 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 he was going to the Lakers, package deal with Kyrie. Reports told us that him and Kyrie are done with each other. They all of these things. The reports are either one or two things. It's either like, yo, stuff just happened and now we can officially tell y'all about it, or it's speculation and we creating content. That's what reports are in most cases, right? The NBA draft will happen and Woj and them will tweet what's happening before it goes up on the stage, right? If you go based on reports and what people say they was doing, you look at LaMelo, he was telling us, yo, I'm going number 2 to Golden State. Golden State don't pick him. He ended up in Charlotte. And instantly, this is 5 minutes beforehand. This is what people are thinking is going to happen. So this is why you don't get the report on that. All right. When you go last year, there was no reports. People was adamantly saying that LiAnGelo Ball was done, was not going to play for the Hornets, wasn't going to play anywhere. And then all of a sudden, and I don't know, but I'm telling you, I was up there. I had to be one of the first people who put the clues together that something was coming down the pipeline for him to play in Charlotte or in that summer league or with the Hornets, somehow affiliated with there. I was body language sniffing it out and all types of things. The report was never coming. The first official thing that we heard from Mitch Kupchak was there's a workout coming. LiAnGelo worked out with us then. We're going to let him work out again. And then maybe if he does good, he'll do it. That was a lie. It was already signed on the dotted line, about to play. So this is what I'm telling you. People can say, oh, the reports, here's what I'm hearing, but there is no, it does not matter. It does not matter. Trust me on this. It does not matter. I just watched a video recently where when the Warriors drafted Jordan Poole, people said Jordan Poole, that's the dumbest pick ever. Nobody expected them to do that. Why would they draft him there? It's worthless. They crucified D. They gave it a D rating when they did that. All of the people on the commentators on the draft was upset at that pick, didn't understand it, damn near clowned the Warriors for doing that. And then all of a sudden Jordan Poole is trying to figure out how he can get max money out of them boys. Now everybody like, man, he the next, the future is set with them. So I'm telling you, reports are reports, but a lot of that shit is content, a lot of it's entertainment, and it's just like I told y'all. Sometimes you can go to the source and you can get the information, and oftentimes the source will say, but wait a minute, we got a rollout plan. Don't do it yet. Here's what's going on. And then like you got to hold on to it, right? And then you could go against the grain and leak it and do all of that stuff, but that's one of the things here. But what I was talking about is development, right? And my man Pope says the Drew League stunt didn't go as planned. My guy Jello didn't do so good. Now missing practice, not his fault, but not looking good. I think that what people don't give him credit for and what people often miss is like the thing that my guy Jello, and this is what I said last year. Most people was like, he about to get in here, he gonna give 100 buckets, he gonna do this. If he don't go from the G League to the Hornets, it's a bust. They doing this wrong. They doing woo woo woo. And the thing that I was saying is that my man literally last year was the first time he had played organized basketball since the JBA. What he needs more than anything is organized practice underneath his belt, organized games underneath his belt, and all of that stuff. That's why he was hyped to play in the Drew League last year, because he was like, I just need to hoop. This year's Drew League was an opportunity for him to work on skill sets, right? Obviously, you come out there and you got a well-polished game and all of that stuff. Like, it's amazing. But for him, it's a great opportunity to get on the court with some solid competition and work on a new skill set. And when you're playing games that don't matter, it makes sense for you to go ahead and work something new. You're going to go ahead and play the point guard. Show people you can pass. Get back into the rhythm of doing that. And I think that that's what they were trying to do. To me, it goes back to this thing that even got me hype on following the Ball family, LeVar, and all of them. It is somehow they find a way to put themselves in position to create opportunity that other people can't create. What do I mean by that? This is also why I give I give a lot of praise to the Julian Newman family. And I think that as we talk about dads, as we talk about fathers, as we talk about families, as we talk about support systems, the thing that you should pick up and learn the most from a LeVar Ball and a LaMelo Ball and all of those people is this. You can create your own opportunity if you're willing to, one, do the work, two, sacrifice a bit. When we look at LaMelo Ball leaving high school, they sacrificed and went to LKL. The LKL was letting them play, but they weren't getting the ticks that they wanted. So they say, you know what? We'll sacrifice some more, create more opportunity, and we'll have our own games. We'll fly teams in. We'll play. We'll pay the guys on this team to also play with us. They created those opportunities. There's an opportunity that most people cannot get for your dad to coach a Drew League team and say you're going to play point guard no matter what. Most people, you can't do that. You cannot do that if you're, I'll take that back. You can do it, but that's not easy to do. The average person who plays in the Drew League, one of the guys who plays on the team, BBB, my guy Six Keys, Marquise Reed, he played for the JBA Los Angeles Ballers, has played in the Drew League for teams and teams and teams. And one of the reasons why he switched over to Team BBB is because he didn't feel like he was getting the adequate amount of minutes on another team. There is something special to be said when your dad can say, yo, I'll coach in the Drew League. Give me a team named after my brand, and I'm going to bring my son in and whoever else I can get to play with him, and he's going to run point guard. The only DeMar DeRozan gets to the Drew League and can take over like that. Montrezl Harrell gets to the Drew League and can take over like that. Swaggy P take over like that. Frank Nitti, two-time MVP, takes over like that. The fact that LiAnGelo Ball could have that type of weight where he could play for the second time, played a while back in the Drew League, but then comes back, has his own team basically, and then runs the point guard is what I'm saying is like, to me, that's a beautiful thing. When you look at if you're trying to be a professional basketball player and you're trying to create opportunities for you to grow and get better, that is one of the illustrious ways to be able to do that. Everybody can't do that. And to me, that's dope. Now, as we continue, I think that as we pinpoint and watch and learn and say, man, we will really look at LiAnGelo and we can see where his positives are. We can see where his downfalls are. We can look across the NBA. And we really looked, and you could see guys who nobody cared about. Ja Morant went to Murray State because 99% of scouts said, I don't see nothing. There was a dude in the gym walking through there at a camp with 5-star recruits and all of this, and they had Ja Morant in a small gym on the backside, and he said, oh, I see something. Why you over? He said, bro, put the ball down. Let's go. You coming to Murray State, full ride. I hark back to this point that your reports don't matter. Your stats don't matter. They don't. People told me for years that LiAnGelo Ball was not talented enough to play in the G League, period. Not even a G League player. I heard that. Then he went and played in practice with the Hornets, and they say, wait a minute. But he is a G League player at least. So we go there. All right. Now we fast forward and we have this opportunity. I want to pull something up for y'all, right? Let's look at this. This is LiAnGelo Ball's Wikipedia page. Let me go full screen here. This is the Wikipedia page. All right. On this Wikipedia page, it says LiAnGelo Ball is 23 years of age, from Anaheim, California. That's debatable, but you know, it is what it is. Shooting guard. Greensboro Swarm last year. Woo woo woo. Chino Hills. Illustrious. What I want y'all to focus on is this 23 years of age, right? And oftentimes I hear these videos and hear people talking. They say, "Yeah, man, 23, but you know what I'm saying." Oh, let me fix this real quick. He 23, but he ain't ready. Something ain't right. It's off. He ain't. It's just a lot. He done wasted his time. It's over. He done got too old. Such and such. All of these things. You hear it. You hear it all. You hear it all. And here's what I want to show y'all something else. I was looking at this and I looked at and I feel like the Warriors is such an interesting team. How do I get this on my screen? The Warriors to me is such an interesting team because they seem to know how to find these diamonds in the roughs, right? And so last year they signed this guy named Gary Payton II. Okay. And Gary Payton II to me is an interesting signing for this reason. We can pull this over here. All right, Gary Payton is interesting for this reason. He's been in the league since 2016, 2021, 22, played with the Golden State Warriors. Let's see. Could they give us this? 6 years in the league, played with the Golden State Warriors, all of that stuff, bounced around. I was in the G League draft, played in the Summer League last year. Let me show you this. We go back to this G League TV thing here, and they got a little post about it. Let's see. Last summer, my man was in the G League or in the Summer League, and then with that, played for the Warriors, and then just signed a deal, $28 million, 3 years. I bring up Gary Payton II because I want to debunk one thing for you, right? Folks be like, man, Jello, he already wasted so much time. Opportunities lost. Gary Payton II in his first season in the NBA was 24 years old. Let me break that down for you. He was 24 years old rookie season. Bounced around G League, NBA team, G League, boo, 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 at 24 years old. Let's see, played 6 games here for Milwaukee, played 11 here for the Lakers, played 3 for Washington, 29. This last season is the most NBA games that he's ever played. The season before, with the same Golden State Warriors team, only played 10 games. All right. At 28, 29 years old, going to be a 30-year-old, 6 seasons in the NBA, started when he was 24 years old. LiAnGelo Ball is 23 years old currently. $23 years old currently. Why is that important? That is important because when we talk about the timeline of can you make it? Can you not make it? Oh, is it too late? This opportunity, you missed this opportunity, that opportunity. It says that right now, Gary Payton II, who was in college, obviously, hadn't even started his NBA career at Jello's age right now. Do you understand the point that I'm trying to drive home to you? When we're looking at opportunities, especially for these NBA guys, sometimes, right, we kind of got caught up in this one and done era where we don't think that you're an NBA player if you're not NBA ready by the time you 18 years old, right? We don't think that you're an NBA player if you're not in the rotation or at 19 years old, if the reports ain't saying you a eventual all-star. Let me show y'all something here. Another thing that I want to pull up, because this was something that came on my radar a while back. Look at this here. When we talk about reports, we talk about the NBA and all of this stuff. Let me talk to you about trajectory. There was a time in Darius Garland's rookie season where they had him slated as the worst player in the NBA. The worst. Trash. Terrible. Out of all of the association, the brotherhood, the fraternity, all of that, the worst. My man just signed a max deal. The same contract that Zion Williamson just signed. Played in the All-Star game last year. And many moons ago, Darius Garland was the worst player in the NBA. This is, let me see. Continue without disabling. This is the Cleveland.com. So this is the Cavaliers. Darius Garland was the NBA's worst player. Should he get a pass for a horrible rookie season? So I bring this up because I want to drive this point home, right? And I think that oftentimes when you're somebody who you believe in somebody, you see something that people don't see, they say, man, but you riding. You doing some extra stuff. You over the edge. You doing woo woo woo. And it's just the reality is that there are times where the audio comes back and people are saying the Golden State Warriors will never win another championship. Steph Curry over the hill. It's over for those guys. And then all of a sudden, the unthinkable happens, right? I say this. I promise, I wish if I cared enough, I would go back to some of my old live streams and I would pull up the audio of people telling me that LiAnGelo Ball would never even play in the NBA Summer League. And if he did, he would never have success. I would pull up the audio of people telling me that LiAnGelo Ball is not even a G League player. If I cared enough, I would pull that up. If I cared enough, I would pull that up. I don't. And I know that most of y'all know that you said it. Most of y'all double back and then switched it and said, oh, well, LiAnGelo Ball, yeah, he made the G League, but he never going to play. Or I remember one of the guys, it happened to Melo too. I remember the dude was telling me when Melo went to Australia that Melo was not going to sniff a minute. He was never going to crack the starting lineup. He wasn't going to play. All of these things that Melo wasn't going to do. And then I went back to go get the tweets and comment on the thread. He had deleted all of them. Had deleted all of them. So it is what it is. It's interesting though. It's interesting. All right, so let me do this. Let me go through here and I'll talk about some of these comments here that folks have made and we'll get into it that way. Man, I wish I gotta figure this thing back out, man. This bad boy here. Let me see. Oh, okay. Let me try this. Chatting screen. All right, here we go. So some of those comments should pop up. All right, let me go back here. All right, GP2 is like 29 years old. It's 29 facts. Y'all tripping Jello. Then if Peyton was 24 as a rookie. Yeah, there you go. You get what I'm saying. If he don't get a show out this summer league, he might not get that swarm opportunity again. I don't think so. I don't think that that's the case. Because if you go back to last year's summer league, I seen my man Ball Facts did a video about this in which he showed, and we might pull it up, but he did a good job of showing that last year in the summer league, I believe Jello averaged 9.8 points a game. The only player who significantly averaged more points than him was James Booknight. So I think that we live in this world where 80% of the team don't show out. They don't have electrifying games. They don't even have a moment as big as LiAnGelo's, and we miss it. We don't even care. We just gloss over it. We act like, you know what I mean? It's whatever. And those people get invited to the NBA's to play in the G League. I don't think that it's about. I think for us as fans, statistics, accomplishments, how many points you got, how much you did, woo, 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 that matters to us. It matters to us more than I think when you're coaching somebody. You want to know, are you in the right place? Did you do what I asked you to do? When it was your opportunity, did you capitalize, right? Even if your opportunity was one bucket here, one shot here, were you able to capitalize on that opportunity? What I can, all right, we got 100 people watching, 45 likes. If you can, please slam the like button as we will continue to go through here. Studio, he shot a horrible from the field and 3 with the loss and played all game, huh? Yeah. Pope, he was playing out of position. His legs were not there. If he don't play in the summer league, all right, we talk about that. Big salute goes out to my dog, AB the Hero. Respect. King C in the building. King C is there. It's so interesting when you know what I mean, you do these live streams and you do this stuff over years and you see the same folks in the chat, in the comments, year after year, month after month, video after video, and King C is definitely one of those people who've been rocking with the channel and the content for a while. So salute to you. That's why I said the stunt did playing him out of position, trying to prove a point. Message Drew Lee play up. Now, all right, we talked about that. He's going to play in the summer league. Melo's going to have a fit if he doesn't play over some health and safety protocol. But see, I don't think. I think the summer league is a critical part to Gelo's journey, right? But I don't think that Melo is having to fit over that, right? I think that he definitely probably used some sway. I think that if the organization is smart enough, they don't even go and ask Melo, "Hey, bro, do you want your brother to play?" Like they just go ahead and show some what is the word I'm looking for? When you are proactive, they're being proactive and they go ahead and get that done, right? As long as Melo in the league, Gelo will get a roster. Just give it time. Facts. And that's also part of it too. Is there is some clout to be had with his brother. I pulled up. We talk about Giannis. Giannis's brother joined the joined the Bucks. Like people think that he was just there the whole time. No, when Giannis started winning MVPs, his brother started sitting on the bench next to him. It takes some time. You gotta get your clout up a little bit, and they will make moves. And we got a little roster spot for your brother if we need to do that. Roster, just give it time. LeVar should have got a pass for the point guard, run that Chino Hill style offense with Gelo, get him back in his bag like he used to. I could see that being a thing. I just think that what people want to see from Gelo right now on the NBA level is not that, right? I think that style of play right now is also part of the reason why people don't see his full scope of game, right? The ideal of like, yo, you're going to play point guard is because the things that people are always pressing you over is your ability to handle the ball, facilitate, and all of these things. So the ideal is let's go work on that. Good competition. Let's go have you pass it, facilitate, and do all of those things because people assume and respect your shot and ability to score. So he could have let that thing up for 30, 40, 60 points, and people would have just said the same thing that they've been saying his whole career. But it was the Drew League. That don't matter. It ain't the. So you might as well go and get some work in. Would I have loved to see him get Drew League 40? Yes. Would that have went viral and been all over the internet and set the tone for some crazy stuff? For sure. All right. IG love you that one. LeVar, I give you that one. LeVar was not a good coach, but Gelo did and game shape. They'll get in game shape. So maybe that was LeVar's method to the madness. Yeah, trust me, there's a method to that madness. I feel like as long as Jello get a bigger role this year in Greensboro, that's what matters. If he doesn't, I'm gonna be sad. Facts. I think that that's the important thing, right? Is if we see his role increase year after year, I think that that increases his chances of getting a call up at some point, and that increases his the longevity that he'll have in the NBA slash in the G League. There are guys who literally, what's the dude? I can't remember his name. I ain't even gonna try to remember it. But I think about the guy who played 15, 20 years or so. Maybe that's an exaggeration with the Los Angeles Lakers and never got one G League, one NBA call up. But he just played year after year in the G League. And for some people, that's success, man. Do I think that that's what Jello wants to do? No, I do think it's like it was that post he said the other day, man. I just want to hoop. So I think that that's part of his probably happy place as well. I believe what you said, Elijah. It will be with the Lakers in a few years, more like 7 years. Yeah, Elijah Melo is going to have to lay some weight on Charlotte for Jello. If he don't get to show out in the summer league, he might get on. Now there's only like 2 people from the summer league team that won't make the swarm. He gonna be on the team. That's what I'm saying. AB, is there any concern coming out of the camp? I don't think that there's any concern for that. That he won't. I don't imagine that there's concern that this is his last stop of playing basketball. There might be concern that they might not allow him to play in the summer league, but I think that that's just a formality for what's to come. And that's just me. That's my thoughts. I love Jello game, but they not allowing him to do stuff, and him playing out of position in the Drew was a failure because he didn't look good in the role, just being frank. And that's what I'm saying. I get that. I think that for an external person, right? I think it's hard, right? I was just listening to this thing with Nick Wright, and he was talking about the Chet Holmgren kid, right? And so the interesting thing with Chet Holmgren, right, who is the number whatever pick in the draft this year, and what everybody's saying is like people don't believe that his body type will hold up in the NBA. All right, so people believe that Chet Holmgren is too small to get it done in the league. However, he then has his first G League game recently and goes for 23 points, 6 blocks, bunch of rebounds. Let's see, here it is. 23 points, 7 boards, 4 assists, and 6 blocks. And the conversation becomes this. And this is the thing with the Drew League and Jello. Is yes, Chet Holmgren had a really good game in the summer league, but it was only the summer league. And if you have a good game, it doesn't matter in the summer league, but it matters if you have a bad game. All right. So in Nick Wright gave this analogy where he said it's just like if you said you wanted to be on the PGA Tour, which is golfing, and we went to a putt course and you were amazing at putt, that doesn't mean that you're going to be a PGA level golfer. However, if you stunk at putt, it may be an indication of your ability to not make the PGA Tour, right? So I get the ideal if we think that LiAnGelo playing in the Drew League and not having a great showing may look poorly on his ability to maybe thrive in the league. However, I think the caveat, and which was probably like a high level chess move, is that most people saw LiAnGelo playing out of position, right? So if you're a scout of basketball, you don't watch LiAnGelo play out of position and then be like, man, he can't play basketball. You say to yourself, he's playing out of position. What he should be doing is X, Y, and Z. So you semi give yourself a built-in excuse for not having the greatest of game when you make that when you look at it from that perspective. So, which is also why I think that you take that opportunity to try something different because the benefits outweigh the negatives in that situation. At least that's just to me. All right. Melo got him in Charlotte so far, so I think Jello will be on the roster sooner than we think with Clifford as a coach. I think that's the thing is like this is interesting. The point is, and this goes back to my whole thing about the report, right? And how you can believe certain things and you cannot. The the story as it's told to all of us is that LiAnGelo was in there working out with Melo, was hooping, and folks was like, yo, actually, the boy got game. Let's give him a shot. Now, based on that story, we are to believe that the access was created from Melo, but the opportunity was grabbed by LiAnGelo. And so, if that's the case, I don't think it's a full Melo got him into the thing, so Melo going to keep throwing his weight around. I think that the ball is literally in Jello's court for most of us. Any word on Miles? I don't have any word on Miles, bro. So that's a shitty situation. Pope, I hear you about the Drew, but Jello hit 27 points, doing what he does best. Shoot, that's what I took out of that. If he was playing his role with better players, he gonna be great always. The new coach loves a fast-paced game, and Jello fits right into that rotation, catching passes from Melo, like in the JBA and Chino Hills. That's a fact. Chantel Lester say, hey. Hallie say Jello is a bucket. That's a fact. He is a bucket. So Dio, go check the shooting percentages in that game. He dropped 27 points. It was bad, and they lost. The new coach is whack. He brought back the G League coach, which shows he is a loser. Here's the thing that I'll say. I was surprised that the old G League coach came back. I think the tough part though is this new coach was hired a week ago, 2 weeks, a week and a half. So it would probably not be in the best interest of that team to shake things up to that degree. Let me see. So I think that's why we saw that one coach come back. They lost, but I know they lost, but they were playing nobody. Jello is this far. Jello to get this far is kind of a miracle, considering that he got him up in China, bounced from UCLA, Lithuania, had a bad ankle. That's what I mean. I agree with you. I think that's the part that most people don't want to realize is that the fact that he is where he is right now says a lot about something, or says a lot about the opportunity that is at his hand, at his feet. I feel like LeVar set him up because why would you make him play a position he's not used to? Chantal, that's what I was saying. You make him play a position that he's not used to because you're trying to get him some skills, right? The thing that, and I always talk about this, or used to, what I think that when people say, when they talk about this about LaMelo, they say, man, LaMelo is a passer that's so great and you can't teach that. And like, oh man, it's just natural, it's natural ability, all of these things. People overlook that those skill sets that he has was taught to him in the system that they tried to get Jello to run, right? So if you're trying to give somebody that pace to play and the skill set and be able to pass, that's why you do that. You give them that opportunity. You say, go, you're going to get a lot of reps. You're going to play this whole game, and you're going to get better. And so that was the vibe. Dude been in the league 6 years. All right, now we get into that. I thought he was a rookie. Nah. I saw that Andre Drummond signed with the Bulls, and it made me think, they definitely should have probably pulled the trigger on Andre Drummond. Jello, y'all tripping on Jello than if Peyton was 24 as a rookie. That's what I'm saying. When people hate like that, it's because they don't even believe in themselves. So they get mad when an underdog believes in themselves. Dun dun dun. GP like 29. Hassan joined the Heat at 25. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all acting like Peyton 2 was a rookie. Just saw Jello near Wild Wings, huh? I hear you preach, AB. We see Jello talent, but that old media stain is holding him back when he did in high school that LeBron didn't do. So yeah, I think that the funny thing about this right here, and I wish I gotta fix that thing again. Wish I could get that back up. But the interesting thing is, I do think that I think that the old media, in the way that majority media talks about players and all of this stuff, is not accurate at times, right? When we talk about the report again, the report was Michael Jordan hates LeVar Ball, and one of the ball boys would never play for a Michael Jordan team. Would never. He wouldn't want to put up with it. Mike, he could beat Michael Jordan one-on-one. How dare he? Mike is so petty, he would never let it happen. Mike drafted LaMelo Ball with the 3rd overall pick. That was never supposed to happen. So this old media idea are the same people who once Jello put 22 in the summer league said, yo, the boy can hoop. What's his name? Gilbert Arenas. He ain't got it. He ain't got it. Put up the stuff. He was in the Instagram post on my Instagram page. I mean, well, when I said that, that was taking into account that he was gonna have to put the work in and X, Y, and Z and all of that stuff. So that's just is what it is, man. Dude, man, the thing be janking and stuff sometimes, man. Let me see. See that. Check out Steve Kerr's story and see that he was like nothing in the league first 4 years and still was a basic role player even with Chicago. He had one big shot that made him a hero. That's what I'm saying. I think that the LiAnGelo Ball story is a bit of a long shot story, but I think that this ideal that most people have that it's over for him is one that's largely not accurate. Did you notice Jello got the number 8 jersey back? Look at the Summer League roster. Cameron McGriff is 22 now. If you read between the lines, Trez is gone. Jello will be a Hornet this year. I hear you. I hear you. I like that, Miss Toot. Caleb Martin is better. You can't ever tell me that Caleb Martin is better at anything related to basketball than Jello. Him or his brother, they are getting paid. In fact, they getting paid. They getting paid. Here's the thing that I'll say about that though. I think this is what I keep saying. I think that it's a matter of time before Jello gets the opportunity, and it's simply based off of timing, opportunity to play, figure out who he is, where he is on the court, and all of that stuff. Man, look at it. Bro, we got the new laptop. Excellent connection on the screen. Oh, I like it. I like it. What's the update on Jello? We been talking about Jello the whole time, but we'll double back on that. And then there's a video that I want to watch. I want to watch this video with y'all and have y'all comment and see if y'all was just as and see if y'all was as appalled as I was appalled by this video. Facts. Keep doing your thing. When Jello gets his big league chance, he gonna ball out. I believe it, Mike. I believe it. Get the likes up, please. We have 98 watching and 52 likes. Come on, Elijah. Talk that talk, man. Talk that talk. Let me see if I can do this. All right. Restore the chat. How can we? Let's do a poll. Axe the Cunning. All right, bam. All right. So is he playing in the other games? I'm hoping that he plays in the other games. Okay. Jello is 1-2 seasons away from a call up. Facts. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if it take 1 or 2 extra seasons to get it done, that's a W. That's a W. That means he's 25 years old by the time he touch an NBA roster. That's a W. And Drew League games after that. If he would have lit the Drew up game after game, that would have turned heads. I feel like that would have turned fans' heads, right? I think the thing that's interesting about LiAnGelo's situation is that in high school, he scored a ton of points versus. Hey, we got my man God of Blackness in here with a super chat. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. He say, what up? We talking Jello talk. We talking Jello talk right now. And you know how that goes. It's a I think that this is one of my favorite words to use right now. But anytime you get into the Jello talk, it's gonna be a lot of speculation and a lot of, you know what I mean, predictions and all of this stuff. Here's the thing that I like to do. When I talk about many moons ago, when people used to give me their takes on Jello, the take was, I will say that he's an NBA player once he makes the NBA, right? Or he's a G League level player if he makes the G League, right? Which makes sense. But there's no prediction in that. There's no scouting of talent. There's no development of anything. There's no being able to look at somebody and say, you got something in you. It's like when the professionals tell me that this is orange juice, then I'll believe it's orange juice. When they pee on my back and they say it's rain, if they do that, then it's rain. That's what you go with. To me, I like to make a prediction here. Let me see. Can I see this video? All right. I watched this video the other day, right? And this is a clip from this YouTuber. All right, let me get through here. I want to get through these comments. Elijah Facts, like that take. Well, let me see. Everybody's saying that Elijah take was good. Let me read Elijah Shaw. What you got? Miss 2. All Jello needs is a real chance, like he proved in his first summer league game. And then the old narratives cut his minutes because he played better than players they drafted and they look dun dun dun. That's a fact. Jack Slammer. Every time Jello gets minutes and goes off, they cut his minutes because he is the fan favorite and he shows up players that they are drafting and paying big money as an investment. Dun dun dun. That's facts. That is facts. It has happened. Thank you. And I catch your channel also. And that's how I get this good content to talk about with the others. Big facts. Black Star Company. Jello might have a better chance just going back to college and entering the draft because he's getting blackballed. That's what I'm saying. He's not getting blackballed, bro. I'm telling you, the opportunities that he's getting is elite opportunities. Facts. It's elite. I know people who hoop and would love to be in Jello space right now. And he ain't getting it. The G League swarm coach is like an NBA scout. The G League swarm coaches, you watch that movie Hustle, and the dude been a scout for many moons, and then all of a sudden they like, all right, bro, here go your chance to coach. I can see him being in that same situation. Oh, there it is. Popped up. Yep. Do y'all remember Jeremy Lin and how he just bust onto the scene and was given a real chance to shine? And that's all I want for Jello without the old nude baggage. There you go. There you go for sure. Hey, man, Elijah Shaw with the super chat. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Hey, God of Blackness, #1 supporter here. Fire, fire, fire. That's a fact. He gonna make the league. His path is just taking longer. Path is just taking longer, and that's okay sometimes. Just gotta work harder than other people to get where you want to be. That's a fact, Mundo. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let me pull this up. I was watching this video. I want to bring this to y'all. It says, dude, Matt Be Great posted this earlier today to 30,000 views. I'm right here in the comments, top right here on the head. Let me like my own comment right here. You know what I'm saying? But I want to let's look at this. I'm actually gonna refresh the video. All right. Let's see. I was saying after a while you got to see that there's something else going on, because he's been pretty productive with the time he gets. But one of the best ways to keep it going is reps. Bro needs minutes. That's a fact. All right, well, let's watch this video and let me know what y'all think. Let's do it.
There's not a way to sugarcoat this. His career ended before it even...
Let me turn this down. That shit was loud in my ears. All right, here we go.
There's not a way to sugarcoat this. His career ended before it even started. If you think I'm wrong, tell me then. Tell me. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the definition of unlucky.
Fair use. Fair use.
Oh man, you hate to see it, you really do, and I'm not doing it. I'm letting you know right now, I am not doing it. I will not, and I refuse to give you the backstory on LiAnGelo Ball. You should know everything about him, or a lot about him. I'm not here to tell you, oh, he was really good in high school, he averaged 32.7 points per game, shot 57%, blah, 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 blah. Not gonna happen. The reason it's not going to happen is because we all know this. What we're here to talk about in this video, unfortunately, I hate to say this, I really do, it is the sad and cold truth. LiAnGelo Ball's career has officially ended before it really even started. Well,
this is awful take here. Career has ended before it even started. He's dumb. Thank y'all. Yeah. All right. I just want to make sure.
Let me go back on that statement. I don't think it's necessarily sad because he's still a millionaire. I'll say this, and it's a better way to put it. It is a strange and a weird situation. To be completely honest with you, I forgot this guy even existed up until 5 or 6 days ago. Around 5 or 6 days ago, like I said, this is when it was breaking news and it was announced yet again that LiAnGelo Ball was going to return to the NBA Summer League with, guess who? The Hornets. Everyone's been hyping it up, and to be completely honest, I'm sick and tired of it. It's the same story we see every single year. Same story.
I think I'm going to start making videos like this. I'm going to just get on here. I'm going to just say a bunch of random stuff. And just be hella over the top and see what it is.
Different year. We see this year after year after year. We've got a lot to talk about and go over in this video. If you like basketball content or any videos like this in general, consider subscribing to the channel. We will further ado. Real quick, before we get into it, I want to talk about this situation because I am curious. I haven't kept up with this all too much, but I've been hearing everybody on SportsCenter just country like that. I brought it up to say this because I saw somebody say this on Twitter. No, I am not a LeBron fan. I'm a LeBron fan. I would. It's not going to happen, and I know a bunch of guys.
Here is in this video, you do talk about the Brittany Griner situation, which I think is crazy. That video sounds like propaganda from the NBA. I ain't gonna lie. Who would make a video like that unless he was up to something by someone? Facts. Dun dun dun.
Guys, you would back me on that statement. I'm not even a LeBron fan once again. And apparently she broke that LeBron. LiAnGelo Ball, aka the lesser of the Ball brothers. This is no disrespect. Take it how you want it, but he will always be known and remembered for.
I ain't finna. Wow, bro, tripping in the words of Stephen A. Stay
the
off
Ball
the
brother
weed.
that wasn't too good. He will always be known as the one brother who didn't make it and quite honestly, is a failure. Me personally, do I think since LiAnGelo didn't make it to the NBA, he's a failure? No. Getting into the NBA is one of the hardest things any athlete can do in any sport, because in football, there's so many players that can play.
Here's what I appreciate he said that. Is not making it to the NBA that doesn't make you a failure? No. I think that if you go back, you've been rocking with this channel for a while, that is the logic that made me even start making the videos that I make, is from hearing people say that.
Play in baseball, same thing, but in basketball, only 5 players can play at a time. For example, in football, you got 11 starters on offense, and you also 5 players. So to say he's a failure in life just because he didn't make it to the NBA, I think that's overdoing it. There's many other things you can do in this life to be successful, and I have heard rumors, and I went to his Instagram to confirm this, that he is starting or he is currently doing a modeling career. Or not doing, that's the wrong way to say it, he's pursuing a modeling career. That sounds better. Hey, if he
Doing clickbait, it is a thing, right? It's a,
he wants to do that, that's what.
Can you turn him down a bit? Yeah, I got you. Might get hit with the Rico.
What's up? I'm wishing him the best of luck. Don't worry, we're not here to talk about it.
Can you turn it down a bit? There you go. We can't get Jello past the damn narrative that he's not nowhere as good as his brothers, when he is right in the middle of them and trained the same, but just got a bad rap. I think that's the narrative that he's fighting, right? People stacking him up against his brothers and saying like, your brothers have been labeled as generational talents, and if you so happen can't take that same label as generational talent, then you're not even good. When we literally go across the NBA and we see guys who are great basketball players but not generational talent, they sign huge contracts and they get a lot of bread. I cut this video off after the first 10 seconds. I heard all that nonsense. I did too. But I was like, man, I need to get on here and talk about this stupid stuff.
His modeling career, let's get serious and talk about basketball. I'm going to show you right here. 5 days ago, it was announced.
Well, we really don't need to watch this because that y'all got the gist. Are we seeing jealousy of Jello? I think that it has a lot to do with that. I think when we go back to last year and we talked about the what is it? Jersey Plug in the building. What's up? When we talk about, I did the body language video when I was looking at Book Night. And it looked like he had some spite in there when it came to Jello, but who knows? A lot of them guys, man, you know what I mean. Once they get themselves established, they really love, and they show a lot more love. Might get hit with the Rico. Franchise map. We starting to get into jealousy territory. Facts. Let me see. Oh man, I hate playing them type of hater videos. I just saw that. I assume most of y'all saw that as well. One and one. Might get hit with Dorigo. Let me see. All right. Jello will get his shot on the NBA roster sooner than later. There will be a team that will recognize his talents and contributions he can bring to any team. The kid is a walking bucket. When you get so hyped like Jello is, it starts to be all about jealousy. I low-key may have to drop a video on Jello. Feeling motivated to defend this slander is too much. I think that you should. Gotta do it, Nico. Got to do it. Got to do it. Got to do it. And that's what I was saying. I think this is also why I was like, yo, I need to go live tonight. And I think that there's a lot of conversation around whether or not he'll play and all of that. But I think that this conversation has also started the the ideal of like, man, he ain't gonna make it, right? This is another setback, or this is them putting a hurdle in front of him and not allowing him to make it, and this will be the excuse why he don't make it. And I don't think that that's it. So recognize his talent. He's not the best, but he has potential. Did he get cut? No, he didn't get cut. And that's what I'm saying. I think people was talking about my dog like he had got cut. Let's get no with the Rico. Where's Julian? Bro, can we do a quick what's going on with my boy Miles Bridges though? We ain't got no updates on him as of yet. Let me do this. Let me see. Let me see if I can. Let me see. I'll add some folks to the chat. Let's see. Might get hit with the Rico. Oh man. I'm gonna drop a link. Probably won't be a video link, but it'll be at least we can get the audio in. We'll do probably about 15-20 minutes and we'll slide. Oh, you can do background music? I might get hit with the Rico. I forgot I could just do that right there. No. Hello, hello, hello. There we go. Speakers. What's oh shoot. Damn it. Okay. Alright, hold on a second. I'm trying to get this the StreamYard link in here. But the boys are back in town, as they say. The boys are back in town. Stream current bit rate is higher than man. I ain't never had that problem. Need to put a limiter on that boy. Alright. There you go. You want to join the stream? There go the stream and StreamYard there. I feel like Jello was given a shaft because Lonzo didn't show up his first year. There was a narrative at the time the Ball brothers weren't all that after the China incident. Hello?
Hey, what's up?
What's up? What's up? Is it are you Luis?
Yeah.
Luis? Yeah, that's what's up. So what's your? We've been talking about this Jello situation, man. What's your thoughts on this?
I think he's gonna make it, man. I think he's it's just bad luck, but he's very skilled. And I just saw an interview with the a recent interview with the coach of the Sworn saying he's that he's a really hard worker and a good teammate. I think that's very valuable. Like NBA teams need a player like that, so I think it's just a matter of time.
Nah, I agree. I saw that interview. I almost posted it earlier. I saw a few different clips from like Charlotte News and the Hornets and all of that stuff talking about LiAnGelo Ball and kind of some of the intangibles. And I agree. I think that I this is also why I believe like this summer league setback is not one that like is going to cost him an opportunity, right? Because I think that folks who lose their opportunity when something like this happens is somebody who like the coach can't say that about, right? You on the fence anyway, you showing up late, your teammates don't like you, so you know what, now we're just gonna let you go. I don't think that that's the LiAnGelo Ball situation.
I 100% agree. Facts.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that book clip.
Hey man,
uh
I appreciate you letting me join, man. Have a good one.
All right, I appreciate you coming through here, man. Anytime, definitely pop in. And if you got something to say, we'll, you know what I mean, we'll give you opportunity to say it for sure.
Awesome, man. I'll keep watching though, for sure.
All right, for sure, for sure.
Have a good night.
All right, you too. Might get hit with the Rico. All right, let's do this. Let me pull up. I think it's at the beginning. It's at the beginning of this video from LiAnGelo. I mean, from Ball Facts. Let me play this real quick. Just shut up. The Hornets are trash. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. What's going on with Miles Bridges right now? They in a bad situation. It might get hit with a Rico. I thought I saw it. I don't see it. I thought I saw it. Oh, okay. That's the wrong one. All right, boom. Here we go. My man Ballfax dropped the video earlier. Face has improv. Oh, that's sad. He's out, but he's not sick. Yeah, I think that's the. As long as he's out but not sick, he'll be all right. Ballfax will be delivering for sure. He got the stuff. All right, let's check it out.
If you want to see the Ball brothers, just use your cell phone. If you want to see LaMelo Ball, well, just watch the Hornets. The fun doesn't end there, though. His older brother, LiAnGelo, is set
They gave him a solid source
to return to the roster for Summer League, that is. Although his...
Here's the interesting part, right? Is when you get to this space where the news is, when you're on the team and you're undrafted walk-on player and the news is showing you love like this, you on to something.
Status is in doubt. The Hornets look forward to his leadership on the court.
The first thing I say about LiAnGelo from the standpoint of me being able to coach, always there, his ability to, obviously from a basketball specific standpoint.
A lot of times when these coaches hit you with the, that's what I'm saying. They promoting Jello already, right? That's a good sign. That's a solid sign. But a lot of times when they hit you with they do what's best for the team, that's when he's talking about his last year. He didn't get the significant amount of minutes, but he didn't complain. He held it down and did what we asked him to do. So shout out to him. I think that's when people talk about you earn that spot, he definitely earned it.
Shoot the basketball at a high level. That is one of the most important skills in today's game.
All right, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't want to do this video, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and get to it. The Hornets released the roster for the summer league. Everybody's like, "Oh my gosh!"
Everybody is like, "Oh my god!" Shout out to Ball Fact. Shout out to Ball Fact. Is there one more clip with the coach in here? I don't think so. I did look at this real quick. Let me go back. Was that from last year? The body language don't lie. Let's check this out. What's up, YouTube? It's your main man, AB the Hero, back again with another video. Well, this is a live stream, and we're gonna check something out today. This will be a quick one. It'll be a quick one. It's for the culture. You feel me? I was watching some Hornets content, and I realized that they just posted their real access series that they do, where they go behind the scenes and show you all of the stuff that happened and throughout the practices and as they travel from game to game. This most recent one was pretty much a recap and sorts of the summer league, their draft picks and all of that stuff. And so and watching it, y'all know I love to watch the body language. There's a few cues and things that I saw in this video. All right, boom, and live somewhere else. You feel me? And while they're waiting on their son to this, right? Content that I noticed. Here we go. It says expectations, because they're are you ready? And hey, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Did you like your own video? Did I like it? Yeah, of course you gotta like it. Sometimes it's so funny. Who using chatting bot? Flight Sports in the building. Shout out to Flight, the hardest working man in hip hop. Let me close this poll here. I saw a Flight on there earlier today, breaking that news with the health and safety protocols and all of that. Let the sniper snipe. I was like, all right, Flight on top of it, Flight on it. We got the Pope in the back here. Let me see. Let me slide the Pope in. Hello. Hello. Uh-oh. Hello. Oh, all right. Hello. What's happening?
Yeah. Hey,
What's
B, can you
happening?
hear me?
I do. We got the Pope B Frank in here with my man Flight Sports TV.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
it do, Fly? What it do,
What's
AB?
good? What's good, AB?
What's good? Man, I saw you earlier today, Flight. Y'all had dropped you and Dex
Yeah,
went back to back on
that's facts.
the Jello stuff, breaking that news about the health and safety protocols might not be in play tomorrow. What's your insights on all of that stuff? What you thinking?
Man, it's crazy. Like I said, we received the news, not too long ago, so we had to report that to the people. I mean, it's wild. I'm just want the best for Jello. I'm just praying that he can possibly come back. I think that's first. And I definitely put that in the video. There's definitely a question mark there. Hoping the door is open. A lot of people may think that it's over, but I'm still optimistic, and let's see what happens. Hopefully, he can get something. At least it's messed up that it's so short in itself. Is it me, or I feel like the summer league is shorter than usual, or is this normal? I feel like it's just a week.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man. I know. I think what it was is last year the summer league was pushed back into like August. So I think like right now it feels so short because well I guess it was a condensed season last year as well, but like we finally get in a normal summer league situation. You know what I'm saying? Where you got the draft, free agency, and summer league like really in the middle of the summer, back to back to back. You know what I mean? So I think maybe that's why it feel a little funny this year.
Yeah, that's facts. It's
Mhm.
crazy. You know,
Yeah,
hopefully everything works out, man. You know, I'm just listening to you. I know everybody's optimistic.
facts. My man King C say, let's pay homage, people, to motherfucking Flight Sports. The Pope in the house live right now. Pope, man, I know you was active in the comments, man, the whole stream, so I appreciate you tapping in. What's your thoughts on
Always.
this situation?
On Jello with the safety protocols and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just whack, man. It's unfortunate for him. You know what I mean? This is a big deal. I hear what you're saying too early on the stream about it's not going to be all end all. Like if he don't play in this summer league, he most likely still have a spot. And due to Lamelo being on the uprise, soon got a free agency coming. Will he be able to bring him along for sure? But it's just it stinks, man. I thought it would be a great summer for him coming off of that swarm. Coming from the swarm to the Drew League, actually being able to play full minutes, a full game. We wasn't gonna just get to see him for a couple of minutes here, a couple of minutes there. That we was gonna actually be able to see him getting his rhythm uh, and cook up before he go to this summer league. And it didn't happen that way. And then now you got the safety protocols. The team is, what I'm saying, practicing. You got a new coach in there. It's a whole lot of shit. So the fact that Borrego not the coach, yeah, you got the old G League coach, but he, like you said, he like the dude from Hustle. He not pushing no weight about nothing. So I just hope he get into this summer league, that he crack into it and get in his bag and and move on from there, move on up.
Yeah. Nah, I agree. I'm hoping that is what happens as well. I think like Flight said, the summer league feels short, but I'm I'm hoping that that's actually a good thing, right? So he get three solid games underneath his belt. And if in that short period of time they say, you know what, man, we really need to you missed the one game. We let X, Y, and Z get their minutes out the way. We let Kai Jones cook. We let some of these other guys go ahead and play there. So maybe the back end is a legit LiAnGelo moment in order for him to like really give us that cook up that we've been waiting on. I do agree with you, and I want to see what Flight think about this. When they do come to the Drew League, I feel like as a fan, it was I would have loved to see him go bananas and go off and get 40. We saw them kind of play him at that point guard role. He still had the green light on the offensive end. But Flight, do you think the Drew League in the few games that LiAnGelo played, how do you think that impacted his trajectory?
I think it was impacting it very well. I think it was putting him in different situations that he was going to be able to display on the summer league stage. But like I said, his brother. So we got to just move on from his brother. And I mean, he's got a whole lot of experience under his belt. But
Hmm.
it was going to impact very well on the summer league stage. I'm hoping. We still crossing our fingers he could display it. But I believe that not only the skill set, the skills that he has learned, is beyond just this summer league. I think he's going to impact it. Let's say, God willing, he gets called up. But let's say he goes back to Greensboro, which is still an option. So it's not like he's just in the balance here. You know, is either God willing he can go play in the NBA with the Hornets, or he should be with Greensboro. So I believe if he goes to Greensboro, he can get called up a lot quicker than what happened last year. I think this is the year where I think Jello could get a call quicker than usual. I just think this is the year. I think something could happen.
Mm-hmm.
The Hornets is a lot of influx right now. Nothing has been done. So there's a lot they got a lot of stuff in house that they need to be evaluating. Sometimes you might find something inside, and something's in house. You might not have to go all over the place looking for everything, because right now they're looking kind of assed out right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, AB on that summer, I mean, on the Drew League thing, me and you, we discussed a little bit about it on my channel. But what I was really, I want to like, it's not Jello's fault. That's a Lavore. That was a bad decision. Like, I don't think it was smart at all because nobody can. You just don't go from playing one position and you never even played this certain position and think you're gonna transfer over and have a good showing. That's not smart. That's like, even if I'm a wide receiver, just because I got speed, quickness, and all of that, you're not going to just throw Odell Beckham Jr. in the backfield and hand him the ball off and think he's going to look good. It's just not going to happen. So it's the same thing. I don't care. You're just not going to be a wing shooter. He's a bucket. That's a fact. You're not going to go from that to being a pass first type of point guard, especially in just the amount of this little time frame from when he just left the Swarm to the workout into the Drew League. It's not going to happen. It's not reality. So you setting him up for failure without even knowing. Not just saying his dad tried to set him up for failure. No, he trying some new shit. He want to, okay, well, they say you can't handle the ball. I'm going to show him you can't handle the ball. They say you can't pass. I'm going to show him. So he thinking like that in that aspect. But I'm like, nah, bro. Because I heard you say the fans would have liked to see him go crazy. No, nobody has seen him drop buckets like he was dropping buckets in high school since high school. And in the Drew League is respected enough to where if you're going in there dropping 30s and 40s a night and y'all winning, yeah, that's gonna make us go be like, okay, well, look how he used them. Okay, now we got to see LiAnGelo play against 6'8", 6'9" guys in the Drew League and put in work on them. We got to see him go around smaller guys who fast and put them in the basket. Like, you want to show them that because we ain't nobody got to see that since high school.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because I remember when I went up to Chino Hills in December. LeVar mentioned to me about this Drew League plan of having LiAnGelo play the point guard, and the logic that he expressed to me was, he was, like, people don't know, but LiAnGelo used to be that position back in the day, right? So in that offense, that was the thing. It was like, this was not his first time being at like the head of the snake and passing that ball. Like, all three of his boys had an opportunity to play that role that that he was kind of playing in the Drew League, right? So I think that was the logic, but I also do think it was this ideal of like, let's show people that you can pass, let's show people that you can dribble, facilitate a little bit, and create that opportunity. And I think it is and that's what I was talking about a little bit earlier. I think the gift of it, because I do think it's a gift and a curse, right? Because you don't get to highlight your best self in the best game, right? I feel like most people think like, you put him in the right position to score, he gonna give you a lot of buckets. But I just think that the logic behind it was to show people that in this stage where you are there, it's a credible stage, you could like show them that you could do the things that they said you couldn't do, right? Because most people say, yeah, bro, we saw you in high school hooping, we saw you shoot, and sometimes that get discredited, sometimes that get uplifted, but the reason why you're not gonna make it is X, Y, Z, these different things. And I think that the narrative that they
AB.
was trying to shut down. I don't know if they actually if it was accomplished or not, but
Nah, he never because he looked bad in that role. Honestly, man, and I root for all of them boys, man. I talk my stuff about Lonzo when Lonzo ain't looking good, but for sure, you don't put Jello, who's been a bucket all his life. He's never played the point guard. Yes, he can pass. He's a high IQ player. All of that stuff is true. Playing the point guard is a totally different get down. So with LeVar, he gotta know this, man. You gotta know this. Like, okay, you're not just going from the 2 guard to the 3 guard. That's different. That's still a wing. You don't have to do decision making and all this and that and other. Point guard, you gotta set the table for everybody and yourself. That table the defense give you, so on and so forth. If you haven't played that in 23 years, you can't wait till you're 24 to try to spring it on him. Okay, son, the Drew League ain't no chump like that. It's not at all. When LaMelo went to the Drew after high school, that really woke people up that this dude is for real. Like when he went there and bodied people and almost won the MVP and took his team almost won a championship in the Drew, and he led that squad, that really woke people like, damn, this nigga can really play against grown ass men and abuse them like it's nothing. So when he went over to Australia after that to the Illawarra Hawks, it was already highly anticipated. Okay, yeah, he can keep up with some of the best of them. Because, like I say, man, you got D1 players in the Drew, D2 overseas players that come in the Drew. It's all kind of top-notch players. NBA players come to the Drew. And so if he would have played his role that he normally been playing all his life and gave them dudes buckets like he do on a scale that we know he can do, because people who not LiAnGelo fans and ball, but they like, bro, that was high school. That's all they say. When you bring up 32 points again, bro, that was high school. So if he do this in the Drew, which is highly respected, I think it would have done a lot of good things for him.
yeah, my man, Flight.
You
What?
know what? Yeah, listen, I'm glad you let me get the word in here. You know, I think we're getting all things mixed and screwed here, man, to be honest with you. I think LeVar Ball made a hell of an idea, you know, moving LiAnGelo Ball to the point guard position. I think we getting too caught up with him actually being a point guard for the Charlotte Hornets or being the starting point guard for the summer league for the Charlotte. That's not necessarily what this was all about. You know, LiAnGelo Ball, fresh being on ball for a bunch of games here at the Drew League, coming into the summer league, I believe that's going to make him even more of a better catch and shoot player. A guy that's going to be able to put the ball on the floor with a little bit more effectiveness than maybe he did previously. You know, I'm telling you, this guy's had the ball now in his hands a lot more. When you are just a guy like last year, he was more like just catching and shooting, really, just spotting up, you know, things of that nature. Now, with him having the basketball in his hands, he's coming into the summer league with a little bit more, just a little bit more continuity, in my opinion. You know, just he's fresh. I don't know. I just think we're just getting caught up with him being the actual starting point guard.
Now he would. I don't. You think AB? You think he would play the point guard ever in the NBA?
No, that's what I was saying. I don't think that it's about him playing the point guard in NBA. I think it's just about the transfer of skills. So like you
Right.
go to the Drew League, you handle the ball a lot, you get that bit of experience, and then you figure out ways to utilize that in the limited roles that you get in the NBA. That's what I was saying.
So,
I think that
so you
is
don't think
what.
he could have did that on the wing? You don't think like he could have showed his handles that he worked out with Bone Collector when he got the ball thrown to him on the wing? Like take somebody
Th-
off the dribble, go to the hole, make a nice dime.
This
If
was
the
about to
defense
happen.
helped,
It was about
like
to
he could
happen
have
right
did
now.
all of that without having to try to, because he didn't look good at all at the point. I'm like, bro, that shit looked
Well,
horrible to me.
I
I'm
mean,
just being
I can't
keeping
really
it
say that.
buck.
I mean, I think didn't he have 8 assists? Didn't he have 13 assists
Man,
after that?
that's when you play
And
48
then
minutes.
also he had 10 assists after that. I think he had,
That's
I forgot how many points he had. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but he actually increased his numbers as
Go check
well.
it out.
Did he have 13 points the first game? I'm not 100% sure, but I know for a fact he had 27. I believe the second
The
game,
second game,
and I think that was with
he
12
shot like
assists.
29
And
shots.
I believe that was 12 assists, if I'm not mistaken. But just building from what they was actually trying to
People
do
look at
at the
numbers,
point guard
bro.
position, I believe it was an increase, just about every game, and he
Yeah,
still hovered around 10 assists consistently through the tenure.
yeah,
Bro, when all you do is get the ball from out of bounds and throw it all the way down the court and somebody put it in the basket, you're not playing the point guard. That's it. That's not a point guard. He scored 27, but do you know how many shots he took scoring 27? He played the full game. He shot a horrible percentage. He shot 28 shots that game. To get 27 points, that's horrible. So that don't mean nothing. Scouts, they look at all of that. So they
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, you dropped 27, but it took you this many shots to drop it. Like,
I
and then
see.
you know,
I feel you.
Nico.
We got Nico in the building for sure. Here's what I'm saying. I agree with you. I just think that like the method to the madness is the repetition.
Horrible.
You know what I'm saying? Is the like you get to do it. Most people don't get to get that reps. Most people don't get to get up that many shots. Most people don't get to play that point guard, to have that experience and be able to add that to your repertoire. You find ways, like you said, on the wing to get it and be able to facilitate. That's the thing that like when you say like it's like LeVar made the decision. I think that's sometimes the decisions that I champion LeVar for is like somehow he finds a way to like him being able to be the point guard in the Drew League. Like just anybody can't get a whole team and be like, I'm gonna have my son be the point guard, and he gonna get some extra reps and shoot up 29 shots, whether or not it's a high percentage, low percentage. And to me, I think that there's some value in that in itself that like that will play itself out down the road. You know what I mean? More so than if he would have taken instead of 29 shots, he would have took 12 shots, and scored 6 of them. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm thinking. But we got Nico in here. What's up, Nico?
It's good with you, AB. Flight, the Pope. Listening to y'all cook. Um, I guess I could add in. I do agree with you, AB. Just him getting repetitions at the spot, showcasing what he can do, and as we looking at it on the screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
The way that Jello ball is facilitating and getting the right guys to basketball, I do give him credit for that. A lot of these things are long outlet passes, but I mean that's part of the ball brother brand. If we have to be honest, right? That's the signature thing about all of their games, and that's all, you always gonna find that with them. You're never not gonna see that with them. But he has hit a couple guys where they're supposed to be, and the only issue is the comparisons that he has to live up next to are generational with this. That's the only real knock. Like the way we see Lonzo Ball know exactly how to facilitate the ball into the right hands at all times, and even LaMelo to have the initiative to do each one, whether it's score or pass at some of the highest level we can even imagine. Or that shit is hard to be stacked up against. If Jello was in his own bubble of a human coming from a different family, he probably would be a little more respected. But he's always going to be put in the same basket as them, and they got some fucking divine energy around what they do in this game of basketball, and he does too. It's just not as special as theirs, but it's not to say that it's not special.
Mm-hmm.
He whipping that shit up and down the court, and it looked beautiful to see it. I love seeing this, man. But it's just for people to incorporate that in their offense. He's not just a shooter; he can do other shit too, and he's showing that. And I think that's all it's for.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't gonna ever run point guard in the league. He just don't have a specific play style. But
Man, look, my thing is like this, Nico. Everybody,
yeah,
when you in Jello's position, right? He just until last year when he played with the Swarm was his first time getting back into game action, to practicing all the time with the team. For what, 3 years he was out prior to that? Okay, so he hasn't even been used to being in his role that he's been accustomed to all his life in a long time. So he needs to get back to doing what he's used to doing. That was a dumb move, period. No matter how you slice it. Because Jello needs to know that he is Jello himself. Like, yeah, he know, but no. He need to know, nigga, you are the nigga. And I don't need you out here throwing no full court passes. That's why you're never gonna do that shit in the league. So it's pointless for you to even do it here. And the Drew League is not nothing to come here and try to poo-poo on and come trying to learn some new shit on the fly. You're not gonna look good. This not high school. Drew League is, I would put it on the level of better than a D1 college. Like, the level of competition out there is for real. So you can't come out here willy-nilly think you just finna run a point guard some position, the main position that set the table for everybody you ain't never played in your life. It's a failure. It's a failure.
Yeah, but I guess that's the point. I feel like people making is it's only a failure if you think if the idea was, bro, you gonna go out here and you gonna become the point guard overnight. You know what I'm saying? If the purpose of it was, bro, go get these reps, add this to your repertoire, and you thinking beyond the Drew League, then I
Okay,
feel
well, tell me,
like,
did you see him break anybody down off the dribble and drop a dime? Did you see him do any point guard, real like point guard stuff? Besides throw the ball down the court, shit like that. Like, did you see him break somebody down, come off the pick and roll, drop a bounce pass between the pick? Like, did you see anything for real?
but and I'll tell you this, I think like
No.
I'm just watching this clip here. My man here. Let's see. Now is it? He's bringing the ball up the court, behind the back, drive to the basket, kick it to the 3-point shooter. He drive in. He fumbled the bag, missed the layup. But that's it. That's what you're talking about right there.
No, that ain't. But yeah, I mean, I
That ain't pick
guess
and
that's what
roll,
you.
all of that stuff. But
That shit looked at robotic as hell. But yeah, I guess.
but
I mean,
yeah.
that's what you want to call it.
But
That
so
shit
that's what
looked
I'm
sloppy
saying.
as hell, bro.
That's because he's not a point guard. But I think
My
like
point.
I think that what they're trying to do, right? If you look at the NBA and is how positionless is going, right? If
He
you
didn't
look
even
at
go
the
behind the
horn,
back right.
if you look at the Hornets and you look at all of that stuff, I don't know. But that's a if you look at if they gonna play the same way in the with the Swarm as they played the Hornets. Let me see. PFC just subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it. So I think that's what it was, man.
They
It
should be
it was
running the
more of
same
that.
offense.
Uh,
That-
well, look, I guess to agree with Pope in a way that maybe he could run an actual NBA team showing off those skills. We probably didn't get a chance to see, but I guess, and this is what I hate to say, within the big baller brand style of play, you're not really ever going to see that half court, pick and roll, amazing pass offense unless, I mean, you're Alonzo Ball. Most people don't have that ability within that offense to do that. Not even Melo was doing that much when he was playing in the big baller style offense until the JBA and then JBA World Tour. He wasn't the point guard. But in this situation, that's something Jello's adjusting to right in front of our eyes. We didn't get a chance to see that. And I mean, I would love to. I think he could, but I don't think that's just 100% his bag already. We got to see him just now get back to trying something that he hadn't done in a while, and we get to be 100% critics on his new venture into something we haven't seen.
yeah.
Nico, wouldn't you would like to see him been on the receiving end of them long full court passes like he used to and put people in the basket in the post?
I mean,
Have we seen Jello put anybody in the basket in the post in the whole time from Summer League last year and at Swarm?
probably like twice since the summer league,
I'm talking
three
about
times
like
maybe.
somebody dumped it down to him and he backed him down a couple times and put him in the basket. I didn't see
Yeah,
it
probably like
once.
twice.
Okay, maybe twice. Okay, I must have missed it. But 2 times. Wouldn't it have been good to see LiAnGelo doing that in the Drew League, putting grown men in the basket? That's something different that we ain't seen. That could have happened all the time. They could have ran that set. Show people, they say you too small, LiAnGelo. to play small forward, okay, I want you to put 6'8", 6'9" niggas in the basket, put them in the post, and put them in the basket. That would have been new for the scouts to see, like, oh, okay, damn, he can do that for real. Yes, he can do that for real. He got a great touch around the rim. Have him come off them screens, splash. He wasn't. Nothing was getting ran for him for the Swarm or for the Summer League. He was just out there, and he was getting buckets just from being out there. But now, this was the time for LeVar to go get him a point guard that's going to deliver the rock to not just him, but everybody, how Melo was doing, how Lonzo was doing. But he is the highlight of the team. He's our main scorer, for sure. Everybody knows this. Get him a point guard to run the floor, throw the ball down the court like that, and have Gelo do what Gelo do in front of the 2022 people and grown-ups. That's what I'm saying, against the grown-ups, not against high schoolers. I think that would have set him beautifully.
So you would have liked to see his original, well, I wouldn't say original, but the Jello ball play style against this level of competition.
That's what got him in the position he's in. He went to that, what's the name, that camp with Melo yet last year with them boys in the summer. And he went crazy in scrimmages from what Melo say, his pops say, from the even Mitch Kupchak and them say. He was giving them buckets. That's what he do. So now you got to, but we didn't get to see that, right? That's the time where he was getting a lot of playing time that we didn't get to see. Fans, they seen it. Melo seen it. Mitch Kupchak, the other Hornets player, we didn't get to see it. So not only did not all the NBA, other NBA people didn't get to see it, only the Charlotte Hornets. So why not, now that you got the control of this, LeVar, put the right people around him, point guard first, get him a nice point guard, a nice big, and let him go to work as your main scorer and show people, hey, Gelo is that dude if y'all actually put him in a real role. Because now that would have been, the whole role would have been like, oh, okay, now we seen what he did in the Drew, and he was getting sets ran for him. Now, y'all shit is against the fire for somebody start running some sets for this boy, because he's a bucket. He out there looking like a linebacker trying to play the point guard. That shit just looks weird.
I hear you. I hear you. I will say this though. You said something that is important. You said that's what got him in the situation that he is in right now. And I think that the style of play that they played in high school and in some of that limited offense that he was in, like, is why he is like in the current situation of people trying to say, but can you dribble? Can you do X, Y, and Z? Can you do that? And so I think that they were trying to show the other side of that narrative. But I do agree with you. It would have been nice to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you found a really good point guard or a really good big and working and all of that stuff. I would tell you, man, I think even in that style that they play, being able to throw them full court passes and being able to do that, that is something that, like, I think that that's the unique part of what they all do that,
For
like,
sure.
most people just don't do like that.
Yes.
So
No doubt.
I think I want to say it feel like that's what they were trying to highlight, right? Like, yo, that thing that y'all love from our other boys, he got that as well, which I feel like that's one of the things he definitely displayed, is that he could throw that full court pass and put it on the money. But I don't know. I agree with you saying. It is. I'm looking at this play here where they got the old security guard out there playing with them on the Drew. You know what I mean? So and damn.
Can we ask Pope that? Do you think the team he was surrounded with was some real, and not to disrespect them, shout out to y'all,
Man, them
but
was
do you
them.
think that was some quality players?
Man, it looked like he went over to Skid Row. They didn't shut down. They bounced some niggas. Like, come on, put this jersey on. Like, come on, you LeVar boy. That's another thing. Like, bro, that didn't look good for not only LiAnGelo. It didn't look good for the brand. How you gonna put this team out here? How you gonna put this team out here, bro? You LeVar Ball. You couldn't get no players to come play. Some real players out of all the players it is. You couldn't get no real players to come, but you talking about you finna do a deal with Kyrie. You don't knock it off. You better get somebody to come play with you in the Drew League.
Oh no, I think it's hard, man. I think that it is the brand, though. If you go back
Nah,
to
man.
Chino, I'm just saying, if you go back to Chino, you go back to most of the teams, they have been able to gather folks who are around, get them caught up to speed, and then run and it be successful, especially when trying to highlight his own boys. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's interesting. I'm hoping that he gets back into the summer league or in this G League season, and his role changes from there. Because I think that whatever they would have done in this Drew League, it's like somebody said in the chat, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. He could have scored 30 in the Drew League and people would have said, but it's the Drew. Like nobody cares. Like they ain't real who, you know what I mean?
I
Like
don't think so though, AB, because the
they
Drew is respected.
but they if he scored 30 in the summer league tomorrow, people would say it's just the summer league. They say it every time. I just watched the boy Chet Holmgren put 23 and 6 blocks, and they made it seem like he was playing against high school kids. So
Understandable. Well, understandable. I mean, it's like this though. It's like I coach AU, right? And we play against like Team Griffin, Blake Griffin's team, or Team Tarasi, or some shit like that. You know you about to be in the fight. You can't be Team BBB and be out there getting smacked on. That's ridiculous.
yeah.
That's ridiculous. You probably the most famous team that's out there. Ain't nobody else even got the pub you got. And you got to put players on the court. What happened to my boy? What was that? Curtis Hollis, who was playing with them last year.
Yeah, yeah. I
Did he
don't
get signed or something?
he played this year in the Drew League again, but he just played for a different team.
Mm,
I think
okay.
he played in there
Because
whatever
he was
this
a bucket.
whatever tournament they had. I Here's the thing too. I can tell you this is that from my understanding too, I think, and that's probably why you don't see like these immaculate players out there with them. Is this system that they playing in is hard to get. It's like going again. So think about from the context of a guy like Curtis Hollis, who, like you said, is a bucket. In this system, like obviously, if you put him in the right position, he's somebody who's supposed to score a ton of points. But it's like not a traditional style in which I think that would benefit him to be playing like this running gun. You know what I mean? Like he needs some more like pick and roll, you know what I mean, the ISO type of stuff to really show his stuff off, I believe. But I don't know. But he played in. They had that like first ever Drew League team versus the other pro-ams tournament that they had.
Oh, he went crazy.
I don't know what he ended up doing, but I know he played like for the Drew League.
That's what's up, man. I just hope our boy Jello get out of this situation. And it's ridiculous, man. Boy
Yeah.
can't get a break. I just knew for sure he was getting to play with his pops. He was about to go crazy in the Drew. I think that would have been huge. I just think because even if this safety protocol, right, this happens, and let's just say he went crazy in the Drew and was hitting 30 every night type shit, 9-8 rebounds type shit. And Charlotte Hornets didn't want to go further when he would have got called for somebody just from what he did in the Drew and the other little footage they got on him. But he would have showed up in that Drew, man.
I hear you. I think if you in that case, like it is like it's LiAnGelo, it's a bunch of other stuff. But that's what I'm saying. I think like if you look at the Drew, they got guys going 30 and all of the time, and they don't get the extra call up. But I think he is in a unique position, like you're saying, where if he would have done something like that, maybe it would have impacted his stock a little bit in ways that it probably wouldn't impact other people's stock for sure.
So can I
For
ask y'all
sure.
something?
Yep.
If he had won those games, would it be a different conversation?
Of course. What you mean?
Because I think that's the only separation. If he was winning games as point guard, be less critiques.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's the main. It's like a quarterback, Nico. You're gonna take the most share of the blame when you're the quarterback,
Yeah.
because it's like, you know what I mean. You the guy, so you the point guard. If y'all win, you the main guy with the ball in your hand, distributing, rock out, getting buckets, and so on and so forth. Yeah, you was a part of that, but that was a failure, man. That was LeVar said, I don't know what kind of team you put him with, but you're not gonna win with that team out there. I don't know if you thought Jello could just take whatever type of players and get W's. Yeah, W's matter.
Yeah. I agree with you. I just have a sneaky suspicion like that at the end of the day, like the point was not that.
I
Like
guess I would have liked to see. My fault, AB. I was gonna say. I guess I would have liked to see him uh just get some dub. The thing is,
yeah.
what made Lamelo's Drew League entrance so iconic. Not only did he show up with the homies and be a leader of talented players and men, it was talent that he actually could showcase his skills with and around. Jello was the best of some okay at best hoopers. I've seen a lot of air balls.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm like, where did he get these guys?
I've
Like,
seen
why
I've seen a
Eli
lot of air
Scott
balls.
didn't come through? You got access to Eli. You got Eli came through for young Melo. Big O need to get reps. He on the bench in Atlanta. I
Yeah,
mean,
I was
shit.
kid. I do think like that that is the one of the huge differences, right? LaMelo was out there with them boys, but no snacks. Man, that's dope. I don't know. It's cool as hell. It wasn't his team.
Yeah, Melo was
Yeah.
out there winning, man. He was leading his squad to Vicks. Like, he was leading them boys. Highlights after highlights. He was going crazy. And I was like, oh, okay. Because still at that time, they didn't even have him ranked over Cole Anthony or none of them people
Yeah,
coming
nah.
out of Spire. They still was like, oh, okay, whatever. Melo's Melo. He might be second round. He went to
Yeah.
that Drew and lit fire on the ass.
Yeah, they got he played on here with they had Big O, Mello with 25, Big O with 24. So I don't know. He had a better squad. Maybe that's the thing that they should have did is bring them boys out. But all of these dudes who he
Yeah,
playing
that
with
nigga
now
didn't
is
play
all
center neither.
yeah.
He didn't go to the center, AB. Think of LeVar. So you go play center in the Drew League. Show these niggas you can. No, nigga. What are you talking about?
Yeah. But I'm looking at this. He really looked like he didn't even play point guard for a lot of it. He
Oh no,
played
he did. I watched every single game, sir. He was the man out there. He
but
was
that's what
the
I'm
guy.
saying. I'm looking at it now, and he
Oh, you
played
looking in clips, my G. I
well.
watched every game, the full
Oh
games. They was actually playing the games on YouTube at the time.
yeah,
At this time when he was there, they didn't doing it like they doing it now. But
yeah. Damn.
nah, man, I watched every single game. He was playing full point guard. I'm
But
surprised.
well,
You
that's what
know,
I'm saying.
look at him right. Look, who bringing the ball up?
That's
He
what
was.
I'm
This
saying.
is
Here is, but he didn't. This guy number 23 was bringing the ball up earlier
that's like I
on,
said. You
and he
watching
played off the
clips.
ball.
You watching clips. I beat them. That's not, you're not. That's not the
Well,
game. You
well, that's
watch
what
a
I'm saying.
clip of somebody bringing it up. He ran the point guard.
But that's what I'm
Like
saying. If the
he's the
I
point
watch
guard right here in
what I
that
was saying.
clip.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Is that it's the same thing. Like if we watch the Jello clips and all of them look good, and then we miss all of the air balls. Like, I'm just saying, I'm watching this and I was surprised to see that he played off ball as much as he did in this first couple of clips. Is bringing it up and going to work, but they had my dog in the wing a little bit more than I expected to see.
Man, you
So
watching
that's what's up.
clips, my guy. You're not even watching the game. Like, nobody played point guard full game. Like that's not even heard of neither. Like look who bringing the ball down. Like mostly all the clips you
Yeah.
shown, he bringing the ball down. So you seen one clip where he's on the wing.
But
Okay.
that's what I'm saying is I didn't see one clip. There was multiple clips of him on the wing and the other guy. That's what I was saying. I'm not saying he's not playing point guard. I'm saying that I was surprised that that
Well,
initially he wasn't like on the ball immediately.
even on the wing, but he play. I mean, he's on the ball. But he start
Yeah,
out the
yeah,
point guard. But
yeah,
even on the wing, he not playing. That's not far out your position.
yeah,
Playing up, being from a small forward all his life, really not even a shooting guard, small forward, to trying to play the point guard, and you never even done that nowhere close. That's like Melo going to play the center, power forward or something. Here, you since you 6'6", you come play. No,
no, the
it just
funny thing
doesn't work.
is that's when I remember when he initially, what was it? They talked about having him play the little forward or whatnot, small forward in Charlotte for half a second. I know.
Yeah, that's a wing.
Yeah,
Small forward and shooting guard is two of the same things. They wing players.
yeah,
We really just call them wings. Now, whoever's the tallest,
yeah,
you're gonna play small forward. No matter if you're a scorer or not. A
yeah,
wing is a wing. So whether he's small forward, if you got two other small guys on the court and you the tallest out of the other two guards, then okay, you the small
yeah.
forward. That's how it
But
is.
I'm saying that it matters, especially when we talk about LiAnGelo being, like you say, you too small to be a small forward. So we want to see you play in the thing, as opposed to like, but you're the right height to be a shooting guard. Such and such. I think that I get what you're saying, and I think what I was pointing out is not saying like, man, he playing out of position. I was just noticed that. I don't know, my man. From Boston. I just noticed early on that they had somebody else like bringing it up, right? It looked like they took them a moment for them to be like, boy, if you don't get off the damn ball and give it to Melo, and so that's what I was saying. But
But yeah, see, Jello putting somebody like posting people up, that's a part of his game. His game is that's like he's a sniper shooter and he got good post game.
yeah, but
And so I think it's like with the NBA, since he too small to play small forward in the NBA.
yeah,
I don't think that's true. I think if they showed him right here in this Drew League, he can put bigger players in the basket.
yeah,
That would have been
yeah.
a good, you know, good look for him.
We
Cause
got my
he
man
big
Hope,
as
Hoop
all
Jargon in the
outdoors, man.
building.
That dude is big as the whole
that's what I do,
doorway.
Jordan.
Hoop Jargon, what's up, man?
Hoop
Let
in
me
the
know if you
building.
need. Hold on, wait. He changed his name to Hoop Jargon Media Network. All right.
Hoop target media networks.
Hey, all right.
Who stepping up? Yeah, well, tomorrow is the games in the summer league. They start all Jabari Smith and Ponchero, whatever his name. They all
That
look
boy,
good. Chet look good.
athlete.
Hopefully, we get to see LiAnGelo.
Yeah.
Can I throw this in
But
there, Pope? One thing um, that I was pleasantly surprised to see and hear when Jello was playing point guard is when I was watching Jello, let's say right around the time he was doing the combine and trying to get in the NBA around the first time, I always wanted to see him show off the passing ability. I always knew that he could score. That's like everything he's been doing since we've been seeing Jello, an elite scorer. And it's worked for him. They still had him as a 3 star, even though, leading California in scoring and doing things, I mean, extraordinary when it comes to scoring the basketball. And I always said to myself, he got a good passing ability too that
yeah,
just gets overlooked. But now we're seeing it, and I just feel like when it comes to Jello, people will never be satisfied.
yeah,
Hey, did you, Nico? Is that you? I'm gonna tell you where he threw much better passes, way better passes in the Greensboro Swarm practice. The first practice, he was throwing lobs to everybody, throwing full court. He was out there diming them up. He wasn't playing point guard, but he looked so damn good doing it. And that was the first time I had seen him like throw lobs and pinpoint passes like that on the money. But you don't. When I say that to say, you don't have to play the point guard to make those type of passes. You don't got to do
yeah,
it. He made him. I'm sure that's not the first time the Charlotte Hornets has seen him make good passes. Guarantee that.
yeah,
Guaranteed. That's not the first time they've seen it in practice. Probably many times. So they know the boy can play basketball.
yeah,
Now, that's a good point as far as him not having to be point guard to make those
yeah.
passes.
But that's what
No,
I
I'm
do
saying.
think his game style is tailored more for a scorer that can pass. But I do. agree with AB in the aspect of this was just a
Just
showcase for
work.
him to
Yeah.
be pure point guard and set people up, kind of like Alonzo Ball role.
To
I
me,
agree with him
to
too.
me, this is like I think is the and I'm gonna slide off here. I'm getting tired. To me, this is the equivalent of like when you're famous and you try to do stand up comedy, right? And like most comedians, you could go to nightclub after nightclub and you can tell jokes and nobody will care, right? You could bomb, you can have a bad joke, you could try some shit that you never did, but if you like Dave Chappelle and you go to random, not even Dave Chappelle, like let's talk about somebody cross platform. So like Ti tries to get into stand up comedy, and his first set ever people care about, and they like, damn, that's Ti. And then so if you struggle at it, people would be like, why would Ti right now be out here trying to do stand up comedy? He trash. He needs to go do a podcast. He needs to go rap. But it is like it's hard because then you have to fail in front of people, and that's the thing that I'm saying is I get what you're saying. I just think that the intention was not to like transform him into a point guard, but it was to get him some reps versus some high quality players handling the ball, facilitating, and then doing that a lot. I think that when you watch the trajectory of what LeVar them do, they just figure out the best possible scenario to get them boys, their boys, the best work that they can get them. And I think that that's why he go and get players who not that good, cause y'all I don't have to fight y'all to y'all probably wouldn't have played here if I didn't give you the shot to do it. You know what I mean? And y'all gonna just do this role, run the ball. He gonna throw you the ball. You gonna score it. Woo woo woo. And I think that that's what it is. I think like I understand what you're saying. Like maybe to some folks, like it's a not as great of a look as it could be, but I think if you are doing it with the right intention or what and you getting out of what you're supposed to be getting out of it, then like that's kind of the like my man J Max said, Ti bomb at comedy. That's a fact. He bomb at comedy. But everybody who starts doing comedy for the first time bombs at comedy. But you just never know that. You only hear the person 6 years later once they finally make it on a Netflix special or BET or comedy thing. You miss all of that. I think that that's the hard part about the Jello situation is there's so many people in the G League and probably trash point guards and people who if we watch they stuff we'd be like, man, I'm trash. He can't. I'm not even in the Drew League.
It's,
Be like, yo, you played bad. You probably shouldn't be here right now. But none of us would notice it, and none of us would even notice if they got better the next game, just because we
but
don't watch it.
but the thing, AB, is like this though, because I know you're trying to get out of here, but it's like, bro, he not a Ti. He don't got that space to be bombing nothing. He only got space to show greatness after greatness. So it's like, yeah, I understand their thought process and the madness to Lavar's, method, like, but he should have thought about it a little bit longer and said, nah, let's just have you play your shit, your role, and actually kill in your role, because you ain't played your role in 3-4 years.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think that there's a reason why he ain't played in 3 4 years, because that ain't his role no more.
It damn sure
So
ain't the point guard, AB. I mean,
yeah,
Well,
how did he
but
look on a scale of 1 to 10? How he look playing the point guard to
but
you?
that's I guess that's what
uh,
I'm saying is like it's not it's this ideal of like that's the marketing, right? It's just like you said, right? When I talk about somebody else
I give him
bringing the
like
ball up
seven.
the court with LaMelo, and you like it don't matter who bring the ball up the court. Are you the point guard? It don't matter if LaMelo playing on the wing, he playing on the such and such. It's all the same thing. And then so I think like the hype is we're gonna have him play the point guard, but then also to your point, you say, but he's throwing long passes. How many times do you get to see him dribble and kick, do such and such? Truthfully, the only thing you didn't see is him, and you got some of it, is him going to the post. It's more marketing than it is, but I do think that it was it's just the ability to be on ball more, dribbling up the court, passing it, and putting himself in position to throw that long ball.
It's like Ti. When Ti first started comedy, he kind of stunk, and as he kept continued to get on stage more and more, he got better.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's why my whole point is like I don't know what made them think that he was gonna look any kind of good in that role.
But that's what I'm saying. You can't. That's the thing, because I've done stand up before, right? And this is
You
why I
done
brought
stand
the
up, baby?
yeah, yeah. And this is
Okay.
why I brought the
Jack on
Ti
track.
thing up. Is like, for most people, like, you have to accept that you probably going to bomb. Like, you got to find your voice. You got to find some stuff. You got to try this joke, try that. Some of it works, some of it don't. And like, you can, if you're getting started, you can find like your best 2 or 3 minutes of jokes to tell, and you can like beat that into a and like and go and go and go. However, you you have to try new stuff, right? And so you can see how you do it, different timing and all of that jazz. But yeah,
So you think he was to be on the swarm again, or somebody else might pick him up?
I would be surprised if he's not on the swarm when the G League season
When it's
starts.
all said and done.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if he went somewhere else though either. You know what I'm saying? I would be more surprised if for some reason he wasn't on a G League team or in the NBA next season more so than I would be for him playing somewhere else.
Well, he on my league in my
Can I say
2K, so
something?
he good.
I do agree with you, Pope, on the level of he has to show greatness every time you see him because we have so many people perpetuating the narrative as if he's garbage. And since y'all brought up Ti, he did a little quick post and delete today about mind control and all types of shit. Posted that shit, deleted it, which is why nobody really know about it. But it was on his IG. But I only bring it up to say this: all it takes is for somebody with some type of influence. And I mentioned this before when they asked Dennis Rodman what he thought about Jello. Said he sucks, he's trash. You know how many people that value his word have now made LiAnGelo invisible in their brains, and he sucks, he's trash. And people are pushing the narrative that he sucks, he's trash. And
Yep.
But
I'll put it
see,
like this: when I let's say that summer league, right? They had Book Night playing point guard. I had a bad taste of Book Night in my mind based off of him playing point guard. As the season went on, I'm like, okay, I kind of like him. When he was point guard, I'm like, this nigga is trash.
Yep.
hmm
Like I'm tired of seeing him. He get ripped every time he dribble. He got no IQ.
hmm
What are they doing?
but that's what I'm saying to you. There's a reason why you make him play point guard anyway, though.
Yeah,
It helps your overall game. Like, you're the franchise. You're not going to play point guard for the Hornets, but we're going to make you play point guard because it's important for you to understand the intangibles of that and be able to do a little bit of that inside your game, right? You should be able to facilitate. We might ask you to facilitate 5 times in the game as opposed to what we would ask LaMelo to do 30 times up and down the court. But you got to have the skill set to do that. You can't learn how to facilitate 5 times in a game by only doing it 5 times in the game. It's like when I ran track, we ran 100 meters. In practice, we ran 200 meters to prepare for the 100. We ran 800 meters to prepare for the 400. That's what I'm that's I guess what I'm saying to you. And I will also add, and then I'll like wrap it up, is in this live stream, we talked a lot about the reports, right? There is this idea that, like, if you, to us, if you have a bad showing, then a lot of people will get this negative taste in their mouth and they'll say bad things about you and it'll ruin your opportunity. But also, according to most people before Jello signed to play in the summer league last year, most people said that he was never going to play in the summer league or he was never going to play in the G League. it was like off. Rodman, even like you said, Rodman said he was trash. He was terrible. He wasn't going. That was before he played. Like, you could go down the list of every media personality who at some point talked about LiAnGelo's future and opportunity, and they all say the middle child will probably never be in the league. The middle child will probably never do this. He'll never do that. However, your game has to speak for itself in situations in which you play your game. It is
Hey, can I
most
throw a question in there with that too?
yeah,
How many of those guys saying that you think actually took the time to watch about 10 minutes, 5 minutes of LiAnGelo Ball footage?
and that's what I'm saying. Is most of them probably only took time to watch 5 or 10 minutes of LiAnGelo Ball footage, like a highlight or such and such. And if you really think about this, right? If you go and watch LiAnGelo Ball footage, most cases on the internet, you seeing only highlights. So people like dismissed him off of the highlight clips because they saying like, yo, bro, but you, like my man Pope was saying earlier, the statistics say you took 20, you got 20 whatever points, but you took 29 shots. You got X, Y, and Z. So it is that plays a role in it, but I think that, like, if you're going to actually get better and you're going to actually be an NBA player, you got to work on your game in the areas that are most deficient. If you feel like I'm an elite scorer and the reason why you not getting opportunities to facilitate or dribble the ball is because people think you can't do it, then that's what you got to focus on. I seen this, and I want to
I
say it was
feel that.
Jordan.
I feel that.
I want to say it was Jordan Clarkson, or it was and this is kind of like point counterpoint actually, but it was some one of these NBA, Josh Hart, one of those guys, like one of them old Laker dudes, and he was talking about how in in the summer he was doing all of these drills, like working the handle, working the boo boo boo, trying to put this stuff in, and then when the season started, they was like, all right, you go in the corner and you shoot. You know what I'm saying? Or like your role is X, Y, and Z. So to y'all point, maybe it is more like it would have been more beneficial to just do what they're gonna have you do or have you been doing. But I think if you don't ever work on the other stuff, then like you never get an opportunity to do the other thing.
No, you right.
So
That's you right about it. It's just not the time for LiAnGelo because like Nick, like we was just saying. I said it. Nico followed up with it. He can't put no bad footage out there. He just can't. Not even just about the robbing. That was a good example. Not because it's not only robbing. It's a lot of other people who are just this, that, and the other, and people go with that narrative. So it's like when you see LiAnGelo or when you got LiAnGelo popping up on your, YouTube or whatever, you should only see great stuff. When you click on that shit, 30-something points, 10 rebounds, this, that, and the other. Oh, damn, LiAnGelo was doing that though. And you clicking on it and checking it out. But yeah, I feel what you say. I just don't think it's the time for him. Is he not a T.I., a guy who's a made man already in his profession that he doing, where he can go and drop bombs doing something else like comedy and he just Jello can't do that right now.
no, I feel you. I feel you. It is. I feel you. 100%. It's similar in the fact that they have notoriety, but Ti, like you said, has a you're the guy in this one field. You're not. It's a difference if, to your point, if like let's say Ti as a musician started coming out doing R&B albums, and folks was like, "Damn, bro, you making yourself look bad right now. You trying to sing." And maybe you fell off as a musician as opposed to like you just trying something brand new. But so I
Right,
dig it, man.
right. Yeah.
But shoot, man, I'm gonna get start signing off here, man. If y'all got any final points to make, feel free.
Nico.
Hey, I'm all for Jello showcasing his passing talent. I'm all for that. I just wish he had a better team around him, so that once he had the wins, there's nothing you could really say about him. That's always been part of the ball brother thing. Also, you could always hate how they played. You could hate the lack of defense. The niggas won every game, so shut the fuck up.
Facts.
Right. And AB, I just want to say, man, appreciate you letting us up on here. being able to share thoughts with you on our opinions and whatnot. It definitely livest channel, one of the livest channels on YouTube, talking all the facts about the Ball brothers and whatever else, man. Keep bringing that heat to the people.
For sure, man. I appreciate y'all hopping on here and rocking with the channel as well, man. So thank y'all, man, for sharing y'all perspectives and opinions with the people as well. And then also, man, everybody else who in the chat as well. I'm gonna shut down this stream, y'all. But all right, we'll do this again.
All right, Nico, good talking to you, man. We
Yeah,
got to link up.
Thank you, AB. Thank you, Pope. I seen Pope come up here. I had to come through and share some love. I haven't caught AB or Pope live in a minute. I've been a little MIA. I ain't really been in flight shit. I've been, kind of myself, but trying to get back in the groove, get back motivated. And I appreciate y'all for having me, man. Made me feel good tonight, and it's just always a pleasure.
For sure. Anytime, man. Anytime. Pull up. Oh yeah. All right. Praise. Shoot. All right, y'all. That was a good live stream, man. I said we was gonna be on for like an hour. We dinner did 3 hours, so it's always good, man. We get up out of here. It's your main man, AB the Hero. I'll holla at y'all some other time, man. Maybe I don't know about tomorrow, man. Maybe Saturday or Sunday, especially if Jello plays on Sunday. We'll probably double back with a live stream and all of that jazz. So we're gonna get up out of here, man. Let me see. What am I? All right, here it is. All right, appreciate y'all for tapping in. Appreciate my man, God of Blackness for the super chat. Also, Elijah Shaw as well for the super chat, man. That's always much appreciated. Much appreciated. Bro, we've been on here for 2 hours and 40 minutes and had only 4 skip frames. Yeah, that boy streaming now. All right, yo, we out. Hard to stop spitting when you flow.